Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, coming to you live from the bunker, not that dump called Pennsylvania. We got Short Sky. Yeah, we got Short Sky at the highest point of New Jersey.
With a crooked jersey.
With Beer Baron, with the binoculars, with his vision plan.
The binoculars.
Yes.
And
then
I really should go wear my glasses one of these episodes so we can all be in glasses.
I'm going to mute you.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute
Nerd
you.
alert.
I'm going to mute you too. I'm not finished, but and there's Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal from Beverly Hills, California, in the Michael J. Fox Studios. What's up, Scotty?
What's up there, Sam Wu? You got anything to talk about after last night's game?
Oh, I do. Hopefully I don't forget to unmute them.
Unbelievable. You
guys are like children in school that interrupt you when you're doing a lecture. Oh, Beer Baron, you're raising your hand.
Oh, he's raising his hand.
Oh.
Like a good student.
Wait, what are we doing again?
Why are we here? Do you understand that, like, what he just did, what I just did, is what we have to deal with on a regular basis? Like, that's.
I have to go to the bathroom.
What are we doing today? I gotta go.
Oh, teacher jokes.
Yes.
Yay.
Funny for us.
Yeah.
Because we're laughing at our own misery, Scotty.
Yes.
It's not funny because it's funny. It's funny because it's sad.
Yep.
Cue the Michael Scott gif of I love inside jokes.
One day, I wish to be a part of one.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us one of your teacher stories?
Oh,
I'll tell you.
No.
Do you want a real one?
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Yeah.
All right. No.
And here's the end of his career when they record this and play it back.
That's exactly why I just said no. Let's get beyond this. Let's stop being petty and let's get right to the point of last night's debacle of a game. Sam, Scott's Shorts. One of you guys, Scotty, was starting to lean into something and had a question for you that we kind of just skipped over.
I'm gonna run for the president of the NHL, and my platform is going to be Vision Plan for All Officials. That's going to be my platform to get elected.
Okay.
Can we, Scotty, if you wouldn't mind? I know probably Devils After Dark. You had a great breakdown of the game, and unfortunately, I was unable to see it. But the Timo play specifically.
What is that? That's different from any other night? What is that?
Nobody has to know that, all right? Nobody has to know that.
Well,
we support each other.
Man, if there were email blasts, maybe I would know when it started.
No, actually, if we had an email blast, I'd get yelled at for reading the entire thing before Sam gets to make any points. You read through the whole thing. I didn't have anything to talk about because you read through the whole thing.
You wouldn't even read the email and then think you were fired.
Yeah, exactly.
There have just been some atrocious officiating, not only against the Devils, but around the league. It really has been very, very not good, to say the least. And the previous game, we had one where Nico Hischier gets hauled down as he's driving the net right in front of the official, with the puck for a scoring chance. Yeah, nothing. Last night we get Luke Hughes getting basically picked, in the back as he's skating backwards. And I believe it was Seth Jarvis was trying to get out of the zone to avoid an offsides. And he picks Luke, and Luke falls down, obviously, because he gets hit from behind. And then Jack Hughes has to take a smart penalty, hooking Sebastian Aho to stop a 2-on-1. But it all should have been for naught because it should have been a penalty on Jarvis. And then we get to the infamous 5-minute major for Timo Meier. where he had his elbow down. He did not change the direction of his knees. He lined up Natchez. He let him have it, and Natchez tried to avoid it at the last minute, which, that's going to happen. And by him moving is what caused the knee-on-knee contact. You did not see Timo Meyer's knee fling out here to the side, try to chase Natchez. And then we had, the Academy Award performance there where he was sprawled out on the ice, looked like he was done for the season. He didn't miss a shift. And the officials went back and reviewed it and then still came back with a 5-minute major. Now, I would have been fine if you gave, matching minors for roughing to Timo and whoever was mixing it up with Timo afterwards. I can't remember now off the top of my head. I'm fine with, if you're going to give matching minors for roughing, but the 5-minute major was BS. And then who got the was it Dougie that got the cross check and the roughing call? Who was that got the cross check and the roughing?
That was the game before.
Yeah. Who was that? Or was that Pesci? Who was that? I can't remember who that was.
Pesci.
That's another one where you're just like, you have got to be kidding me. I can see the matching minors, but and again, this is not only for the Devils. This is around the league. Like, the officiating is just ass horrible. And Sam Wu did some digging. Apparently, there is no vision plan for the NHL officials, which you would think their job is based on being able to see things happening at a very fast speed. That you should have some good vision there. I know baseball umpires have to have a certain vision to be out there on the field. Apparently, the NHL, you don't even need to wear glasses, even if you need them out there on the ice. So
I do want to play devil's advocate for just 1 second on this, because I agree with everything you're saying. Obviously, yes. Whoa. We have the advantage as fans. We have the advantage of seeing everything in slow-mo, we ultra HD, like all these things, yada, yada, yada. So officiating in NFL, NHL, MLB, everywhere is going to be suspect when it comes to what we're able to see because of technology. My problem goes beyond that. When you have
but they reviewed it.
That's what I'm getting to, is when you have the review process. And the review process is not working just like the other process. Like the disallowed goal in the Devils game with the intent to blow the whistle might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, because you could have intent to blow the whistle the entire game, but there is no intent to blow the whistle. We talked about it at Devils After Dark after that first game, which thank God they won that game, because
you knew when that one was on, right? The one that you were on, that's how you knew that one was on. That's
exactly right. When I was participating. But when I'm there. But my point being is, like, when you're able to review a play and you could clearly see, and that's the one that didn't make the most sense out of anything. Like the Timo thing, yes. Like the Timo thing, I guess you could nitpick it to death to where it would make sense to call it a penalty, even though we all agree that it shouldn't have been. The goal that wasn't a goal, it doesn't make sense, and that's not the first time that's happened this year, where the puck has gone over the line, and then they've sent it to Toronto when it's clearly a goal, and it's been called off. So who knows what's going on? It just feels like the Devils' power play was at one point buzzing, top of the league, 34% efficiency, and now we can't even sniff a penalty because of whatever reason. And last night's game was weird, but the game before was even weirder. The fact that they didn't have a single power play when there were at least 6 times that you could have called the penalty easily on the Carolina. And by the way, not for nothing, I didn't realize how much I hate the Carolina Hurricanes. Like I've hated them more and more and more ever since the year that they came back and beat us with a couple seconds left in that game. We don't like to talk about. But I hate them so much. They're like in the top 4 of hatred now.
I mean, because the other 3 aren't really doing jack all right now, so we need a good rivalry going on. So yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean this goes back to that non-call against the Blues, which caused a goal in the first shot of the game. So this is nothing new. Unfortunately, this has been a systemic problem that we've seen all season, and that non-call set the tone for that entire first period, which the Devils just couldn't get out of their own way. After that ceremony for Markstrom. So it's not just it's we've seen a lot of it, and I know Sam, you had a Woo report, talked a little bit about it, and I know you've been very vocal in our group chat about it too.
And we have to thank Insane Pollock for starting this conspiracy theory, giving all the fire to Sam Woo about the referees and which ones were on there last night. Oh, you should have seen Sam light up in the group chat after that. So, Pollock, you're thank you for that. But Sam, I know you were doing some digging, and I know you got some opinions on this because what is it? The Canes are what, like 12-0-1 or 13-0-1 in the last 2 seasons when that ref crew?
12-1-0. 12-1.
Yeah, that fact I sent to the group chat this morning.
Shut up, Shorts Guy.
Shut up, Shorts Guy.
Sam, what did you do any more digging? What's on your mind about it?
I might be reiterating what I said on the Woo report. Number one, when I saw that hit, out in Pennsylvania somewhere, my initial thought was I felt bad because it looked bad, the injury. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you see the replay, I interpret it as, I'm being fair here, okay, maybe it was a little incidental. There's no intent on Timo Meier to hurt somebody. And I felt that Necas's knee hit Timo's knee, not the other way around. And I viewed it as diving and embellishment, double minor. That's how I viewed it. But that's only after he came back and you're like, okay, this guy faked this whole thing.
Well, wait a minute, Sam. Remember, he never went away. So he didn't have the chance to come back because he didn't miss a shift. So remember, he never went away, so he couldn't come back. He
didn't go down the tunnel. He didn't go down the tunnel.
He just stayed.
Did he even leave the ice? Did he even leave the ice or no?
No.
I thought he went in for like 2 seconds and then came back out. But I
don't think so. No.
But regardless, it was a BS call. They even did the video review. They did a video review. If you look closely, correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to really overanalyze it, Timo's knee didn't actually hit Necas's knee. Hit the back of his knee, but not the front. To me, that would be more of a knee on knee. And again, and I'll say this, and I'll say it again when after that, okay, if you're going to be lying on the ice 3.5 minutes, it's either you're out for the season or. All right.
So I'm so sorry. Just to correct something. Michael said that he did go down the tunnel. They showed it on MSG. But go on. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So, I said it's either you're out for the season or you're dead in there. Because he was lying on the ice for 3.5 minutes, and then it's a miracle. I'm back, and that's where and they have rules on the books that they use for the stupidest things in the NHL. But when there's somebody faking an injury, which it totally looked like now, in hindsight, that's when you use the embellishment and the diving rule.
Well, not to pick on a sport that one of our good friends here, Shorts Guy, loves, but in soccer, it's one of my least favorite things in the entire universe. Is the as somebody walks by you and you roll around holding your leg, and then when you notice that the ball's gone the other way, or if you notice that the officiating is not really caring, you just jump right up and you're back into the play. It's the stupidest thing in the entire universe, and I can't stand it. And it's hopefully in hockey that's not going to become a trend. You see guys do it, but it's not a normal thing, thank God. So we could say that. The same in the NBA too. Flopping.
Well, no. Well, I think Nate just invented the blueprint of how to do it. To be honest, and I think that's what I'm concerned about as well, Beer Baron. But you want to go with conspiracy theories. I mean, we were talking about this on Friday, how bad the refs were. Yeah. And a lot of it is, Michael Descala is asking, is the game too fast? I think it may be a little bit too fast for the refs, but oftentimes when you look at the still shot or the camera shot, the referee is staring right at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the inconsistency is actually just asinine to the point where, like even on Friday's game when I sat up here with you guys with the burrito, the whole time I'm like, rigged.
Yeah, no, you were doing
rigged.
And I think it's even worse when they it's even worse when the refs review something and they're showing it on the big screen. Everyone, not only at home, but everyone that's in the arena is seeing it in this giant screen, and they're looking at this little iPad, and we're all seeing this happen. And they're like, "Yep, nope, that didn't happen." We're like, "What the hell? What are you watching?"
Are we looking at the same thing? Are we looking at the same thing?
Well,
do they buy the smallest tablet possible for them? Like, can they just get it on a friggin' monitor there? Like, can we get like a 24-inch?
Or just look up at the giant. Look at the giant screen above their head.
Yeah. It's
like walking into my kid's room and being like, "Did you guys clean up?" And they're like, "Yeah, I cleaned up." And I'm like, "You clearly didn't." I mean, are we looking at the same thing right now? That just doesn't.
I mean, it would be great. It would be great to put on the jumbotron.
From Keith.
From
Keith last night.
Sake.
Well, yeah, it would be. Yeah, I think they do that in rugby. I think in rugby when there's a VAR call, they've got the officials. They've got the line of communication between the officials and the VAR booth, and you're actually listening and watching what they're doing. So it's complete transparency in rugby. So you can see and hear what they're talking about, so you know what their reasoning is. Because sometimes they make a call and there's no rhyme or reason, and they just like, "Yep, nope, ice, call in the ice stands, no goal, boom," and then they move on. It's like, well, why? What was your reasoning? Like, why when we saw the puck clearly go in, that you decided it wasn't going to be a goal that counted? So that would be a next move would be to get that line of communication between Toronto and the officials.
One thing, because I'm all about the conspiracy theories, but something that still bothers me to this day, it's in another sport. You guys all know I'm a big Penn State fan. And
are you?
when I watched that Penn State Ohio State game, I was saying rigged. They even had a video replay overturn a call with no reason that was in favor of Ohio State. It's like, all right, that's one game. Fast forward to the Big Ten championship game where Mrs. Wu and I sat there, and within probably in the first 5 minutes, I'm saying rigged, just because I've seen this script before, and after I left the game, find out the referees that ref that Ohio State Penn State game were the same ones that did the Big Ten championship game. So, again, like you start to wonder. Every time the Devils are in the top three in the power play, they can't draw penalties. And it seems to be happening again.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm going to give you a quote here from Sheldon Keefe last night post-game. It is a tough one. Obviously, the refs, when they see it live, don't see anything there. They see it as clean. They review it because of the guy lying on the ice after the fact. And the guy lying on the ice plays 3.5 of a 5-minute major. It's a tough message for the players that maybe if you take a big hit, that laying down on the ice has its benefits. I think he's trying to say that there was a dive happening there and the refs messed up. In the most politically correct way I think he can right there.
So he doesn't get fined.
Yeah.
You know what? I really wish I would have loved to have seen in a different dimension that penalty in that play happen Canes Flyers, just to hear Tortorella lose his mind about it.
No.
I would have loved it.
Like it's absolutely.
And it's Larry Brooks asking him the question after the game what he thought about it.
Yes, it's got to
like
be Larry
Flyers Rangers. I do appreciate
Man,
that Keith said
Courts
something.
would have been on the ice, like yelling, like trying to start a fight with the refs.
Mind.
I think if that happened to the
losing
my
his
God,
mind.
you saw him when they put the arm down. Remember?
Oh, he was losing. He was losing.
But I love that. You love that kind of passion.
Oh yeah.
From the coach. And I mean, like, I feel like Keith is definitely hopefully he's putting a message out. You have to. The thing is, you have to tread lightly, because you can't go out there and you can't say something that is going to get you absolutely destroyed by the NHL, because they'll come after you, they'll find you, the blah 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 blah, and then it kind of puts a mark on your team of like the referees coming into the game are like, there's our buddy over there who's sitting there talking stuff, go have another donut. So it just, I understand that you can't sit there and sit on your hands and not say a word about it, but you do unfortunately have to play the politics of the system, and say it the right way. Otherwise, it will come back to
he can't come out and just say the refs suck. That's not going to go over well.
Yeah, that's our
job.
He
did it.
No,
he did it in the best way possible. He went to bat for his players. He went to bat for his players and for Timo. Because again, we'll reiterate this game was 2-2 in the third period when this all happened, and it was the turning point of the game. And if it happened on a normal penalty,
major is a huge
I don't have a problem if we lost to the Canes. Samu and I talked about this. It wouldn't have been a problem if we lost to the Canes, but the fact that it was really, the officials becoming a factor in the game, that's really what turned the tide. And I think that's what really pissed me off. I mean, obviously, I didn't agree with the call, but the fact that this turned out to be the turning point, like the Canes scored on that major portion. Nothing happened on the 4-on-4. And then during that 3 minutes of the major, that's when the Canes scored. So
it reminded me of 2012 Game 6, the Bernier. Bernier.
Oh, can we not talk about that?
No. I want to talk about it because that's a
but
conspiracy.
Not that series.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy because, it always seems like the Devils always get hosed with these 5-minute majors. That can alter a series or alter the game or whatnot. But, because if you look at that play should have been blown icing, should have been called icing. When Scuderi got that puck.
Yeah.
So, again, go ahead.
And also I see, Max and Jay Snow and AJ, who I think AJ is going to have a couple lawsuits pending on his hands. We're going to raise the one about the officials not having the vision plan. But also, Orlov came off the bench, late in that game, and he jumped Eric Halla. And I saw Sheldon Keefe being like, why isn't that a penalty? He was on the bench and he came back off. Now, maybe it's because they didn't replace him on the ice with someone after the play was over. And I get it. The hit was high. But he did. And again, Orlov was down like he was out for the season as well. And then all of a sudden he's jumping Halla from behind. So where are the officials on that
It's a
one?
rough look. It's a rough look. And you know what? And I guarantee you, if there's like a Canes fan or somebody else that's outside of the Devils that like fandom listening to the podcast tonight or checking in on it and be like, what are those dopes from New Jersey talking about? They'd be like, oh, the bellyache and the bellyache and the bellyache, and you guys a bunch of crybabies. And it's like it gets to a point where, like, listen, we're pretty fair. Like, we talk about the team in like a pretty biased. Well, I don't know. We can be homers sometimes, but point being is like what I'm trying to get to is like when it's this bad, when it's that egregious, and when it looks the way it looks, that's when we sit here and complain about it. Is it something that's gonna hopefully fix itself? Who knows? Because there's been games where the officiating has been so bad, and I would love to be able to like check out and like go and watch other games and just be like, okay, is it just us? Because it can't be. It can't be just
it's
the
not.
Devils that are
it's all around.
It's got to be. It's league wide. So I mean, here's the other question. Then here's the question that I proposed to Gary Bettman. Number one, what are we going to do about this? How are you going to fix the officiating in this league? How are you going to fix when things get sent up to Toronto and it's supposed to alleviate any of the bad calls or whatever it is, and you're supposed to have like, oh, we can review high sticks, we can review this, we can review that. The process or the people that are in place are still making the same decisions. And sometimes, like, I understand, like, the call on the ice is like, is usually the end all be all. But sometimes they got to be able to say, no, you're wrong. Like, clearly it doesn't work that way. It's broken. The officiating system.
That's only when we score a goal. Then they call down and say, nope. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah. He did say it on the ice. Remember, he was thinking about blowing his whistle. He thought about blowing his whistle. I heard him say, like, to his friend in the crowd. Remember, he looked at a friend and he was like, I might blow it. I might blow this whistle, and he didn't. But he thought about it. I could read his mind. I have telepathy. Stupid.
So, and this is possibly a dumb question, so I'm going to ask it. Are these officials looking at this video in Toronto, or are these just some executives looking at the screens and making these decisions and helping guide them?
Off-ice officials, I guess. I'm not, that's what I would assume. But
I would like to know that. I would like to know who's doing this. Are these officials that are actively in the game still? Are these officials that are also on the ice occasionally? Are these officials that are paying attention? Are they, I would like to know. I've never seen the Toronto.
It's from,
rules, I would like to see it.
It's a budget rent-a-ref. That's what they do there for the off-ice officiating.
They just get whoever's not working. They get whoever's not working at the local rink.
Yeah.
Carl's great at NHL 2K16. He was awesome at that.
Yeah.
Bring him in. He could be a ref.
Are these like e-bug refs that they've got up there in? We're not gonna. Come here. Come on. We want you to look at this screen. Tell us.
My cousin Mike, he watches TV a lot. He could probably be the guy that watches the TV and figures out if it's a goal. It's like when the mafia hires somebody.
I would like to know who the officials are in Toronto that are making these decisions night in, night out. Like, I feel like if you want transparency, you got to show that too. What the hell does this room look like? What are these guys looking at? Like,
I love what you were saying. Yeah, the what is it, rugby that you were saying before, that you could hear, you get a like inside look on what they're talking about, and like you get the reasoning.
Yeah, and I believe the VAR official is actually in house. Like, they have an official. Like, the officiating crew includes the VAR official, if I'm not mistaken. I think Max could help me out with this. That even in soccer too, that the VAR officials, at least definitely for the bigger matches, are in house and they're actual officials. Like one of your assignments is going to be VAR. What's up?
Why do they always say going to Toronto then?
Well, no. But I'm talking soccer and rugby. But like when they show this stuff in soccer and rugby, it's like actual officials. One of their that week is their assignment's going to be a VAR at whatever match. So like, why can't we have that happen in hockey? Like, find out who these mystery Toronto people are. Like, is it Bob on the street? Hey Bob, what do you think of this penalty? Like, that's really what it is. It's some NHL intern in Toronto, like, hustling some guy in the street, like, hey, what do you think of this? Is this a goal or not? And that's how we
like the man on the street question. Like the man on the street question comes running up to somebody with a microphone. Hey, quick! I got to ask you real quick. Is this a goal or no? No. Okay, good. No goal.
Yeah. Okay, Max. Thank you. Max just confirmed there is a dedicated VAR official in soccer. So maybe that's what the NHL's got to start doing. Because obviously going to Toronto is not consistent enough, which it was supposed to be.
I just don't understand. And if you're not going to call a goal, the intent to blow the whistle might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, there has to, like, if it's a goaltender interference, that's one thing. What if he's like, and how long is this intent for? Like, how long do you get? What's the grace period of your intent?
Like, I have intent to pay my bills. I don't want to, but I have intent to pay my bills. Does that mean my bills get paid? No, not at all.
Yeah. At what point are you like, I think right there. Right, that's the moment. You could see his hand start to move. That's when he started thinking about it. Meanwhile, he's just a human being moving his hands.
It should be like a basketball where, the 24-second clock, like when the ball, so it's kind of, I want to hear sound before when they do the replay, you got to have the sound of that whistle. it can't be just intent because that's so subjective from
Which
the
should be part of this review coming from Toronto, which should be done by actual officials within the league. But that means they would have to expand the number of officials, and they'd really have to get them vision plans because they'll be staring at screens for a couple nights a season. They'll need at least some blue blocker glasses for that so that they can continue to have their vision.
Blue blockers.
Yes.
Are those prescription? No, they're just for the computer.
Yeah, and get them a bigger tablet. Why do we have to have like the smallest tablets possible out there for them to review this? Like, get them a monitor.
You're looking at it on an iPhone 6.
Yeah,
they're like, I think I see it. And the video
get, like,
was
a
sent
computer
by
monitor in there, like a 24-inch computer monitor. You know, like anything, just something a little bit bigger.
Thank you to Max for just sending me this about that goal disallowed. Here's the explanation. He actually gave a post-game explanation. The referee informed the Situation Room that he had deemed the play dead before the puck entered the Carolina net. So the official said he blew the whistle. So what you could do
before that puck was across the line.
Well, so what you could do, we're talking about adding chips to pucks or whatever. You could definitely sync up a whistle with the clock to know exactly when that whistle was blown and when it blew, and I mean, when at what time. But a parent goal shall be disallowed. Quote. Well, it continues. A parent goal shall be disallowed when the referee deems the play has been stopped, even if he had not physically had the opportunity to stop the play by blowing his whistle, which is so stupid. So the referee thinks, the play is stopped. I should blow the whistle. And he blows the whistle, and apparently that constitutes the play stopping, according to this, unless I'm reading it wrong, which is altogether possible, because reading is hard. But, so I guess if the referee
it was clear as day, though, that the puck was in the net before that whistle was blown.
But according to this, when the referee deems the play has been stopped, even if he has not physically had the opportunity to stop play by blowing the whistle, he believes the play is stopped, which is stupid. Because then you look back at that first goal that Carolina scored that was underneath Markstrom. So if that puck is out of view, if that puck's out of view, shouldn't there be a whatever the hell the referee's deeming to stop the play at that? So why is it for one and not the other? Because you had two clear examples of one going in and two going in, one being allowed, one being disallowed, and right in that game. Thank you, Max. For
very
that.
Easy. When the whistle blows, that's when it should be dead.
Well,
it's very simple.
And you should sync up the whistle to the clock.
Or maybe have a new technology, have a button on that whistle.
Buttons.
I mean, you could hear it though, even in the replay on that particular one that we're talking about. You can clearly hear it and clearly see that the puck was already across the line, like well into the net.
They have, by the way, they have those on ice microphones that pick up everything. So.
It wasn't like, it was just about to get over the... No, it was in the back of the net already by the time he...
I agree with you guys. I'm just saying to add a little bit more technology in there wouldn't hurt either.
No.
Oh, no, you could. Yeah.
just
Because we're talking about...
Fox track.
We're talking about the intent.
It was 10.
The tail on all the pucks getting shot.
What was that? The ones that went over 80
those days.
Per hour?
That was on Fox. That was on Fox.
Yeah, the Fox
glow puck.
Yeah, Fox.
Yeah,
glow puck.
They tried. I'll give it to them. They tried. They didn't succeed on that one, but they gave it a shot.
I did send
took a shot.
The group text with the hot pot guys on it. The beach hockey, promo
PBH?
that I found. Oh yeah, the PBH promo that I found on Instagram today.
So
that was kind of fun
to. She's a kid. I always
was that the New Jersey Rock and Rollers?
No, that was RHI.
No, that was different. Rock and Rollers.
PBH was an outdoor inline league, an outdoor ball hockey league. I think it was Huntington
on
Beach.
the Ocho. Was it on the Ocho?
Yeah, I believe it was. But they had ramps behind the nets.
Yeah, I thought that wasn't the Rock and Rollers. I thought that was them.
No, that was Roller Hockey International.
No, Rock and Rollers. Yeah.
That was indoor?
That was indoor.
Yeah, it was
They
indoor.
played it-
Yep, they played a Continental.
Okay.
Yep, I saw.
I
saw
definitely
them play.
remember the beach hockey one. No, yeah, because they had the Rams behind and everything like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was different than RHI.
that puck didn't they have the balls in the puck, or was
was
that
the
the
ball.
roller
They had the ball.
hockey league?
They had
It
the
was a
ball.
ball.
They had the actual
RHI
ball.
had
Yeah,
the
all right.
RHI had the Jofa pucks, and Pro Beach Hockey used the ball, and they had the 2-point arc as well. And they wore shoulder pads for some stupid reason, but it is what it is. That was a great league to watch. I loved it.
All right. Max has got a good thing over here. That's kind of like baseball umpires, too. If they have a little clicker in their hand, so when they intend to blow it, they can just click real quick, as opposed to, the amount of time. How long does it take you to get, shouldn't you already, if you know the scrum is happening there, shouldn't you have the whistle, basically in your mouth already, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
You would think. But
I mean, they have push button whistles that they use at my hockey rink. There was a pandemic era innovation or use or whatever you want to call it, but they do have them. But unless they want to say that they want to have their hands free for whatever reason, I can imagine is what they're going to say.
Then they'll be like, I was reaching into my my new cargo pants that I have over here, and I lost it in my side leg pocket down here.
Lost it.
They got next to the
Always,
wallet.
always.
And,
Anybody that wears cargo pants, which are the best, you lose everything. You're like, and then you got to do the 5-pocket check. You're like, nope.
hang on, guys. I'm meaning to blow the whistle, but I'm just searching my pockets over here. Hang on.
I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in my coat in the other room.
I lost it in my 1.5 foot long Jenko jean pocket.
Oh, that was hilarious. That video was hilarious. I just want to check in on something real quick. So, the good news, boys.
There's good news?
Yeah, there's good news. We're still in first place in the Metropolitan Division. We still have a good, comfortable lead, and there's a new team that is dead last in the Metropolitan Division.
Oh, is there?
And it's those dirty Blues across the old rags across the river.
Which New York team with the blue jersey is it?
Well, they're in a heated race. Let's not poke too much fun because we don't want to have that bite us in the old keeps there. But
nope.
No, listen. All things being said about that game, and we could keep continuing going on and on and on about how miserable the officiating was, how it changed the course of the game, and just how everything else. It sucked. It was terrible. It was just one of those things that you don't want to see. It's one game. The one thing that drives me nuts is every time the Devils are on the verge of a 4-game winning streak, they are like, now 10-2 every time they get to a point where they're going to win 4 in a row. You got to start winning 4 in a row, boys, because when you get into the playoffs, it's pretty pivotal to win 4 in a row, or at least win 4 games. So you don't have to win 4 in a row. You don't have to win 4 in a row. But,
I'd rather a 5 or 6 game series than a sweep because the odds of coming out of a sweep and winning your next round are not very good.
But also with the Devils, they're winning 3 in a row, then they lose 1, then they're starting other streaks.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going on 3-4 game losing streaks either. It just seems to be that they can't get that 4th game in a row, but then they start another positive streak right after. So I'm okay with it because then when you look at the bigger picture, it's like, okay, well, they won 5 out of 6. They won 7 out of 8. They won 8 out of 9, whatever it is, or 7 out of 9. So there's that side of it as well. So it is frustrating though, that they just can't get that damn 4th game, but on the flip side of that, I agree with the frustration. But on the flip side, they aren't going on, these bad losing streaks either.
Yeah. I get Sammy
Ray Leo.
Yeah,
but it would be nice to get 4. It'd be nice to get 4,
Yeah. It would be nice to get 4. It would be nice to get that consistency of a longer streak. I mean, it doesn't have I love the fact that they've been consistent enough where they don't go into a tailspin after a loss. So I'm not worried about a loss like last night crippling the team or putting them into a position where they're going to, not be able to bounce back. But it's just one of these things like where, and it was also, listen, it was a back-to-back. Jake Allen, the last couple of games. Yeah, I mean, how are we feeling about old Jake the Snake right now? Are we feeling confident? Are we feeling confident in his play? I'm going to lean into Short Sky on this one because.
Well, I'll just say that there was only one that I thought was really on him, that Sebastian Aho goal that he just let between the arm and the body. The other ones, I mean, that one deflection that was it Jackson Blake, that he literally stuck his stick across the front and then like deflected it back the opposite way legally. It wasn't a legal play. It was a legal tip. Like he was in front of the crease. He wasn't interfering with Jake Allen. That was just a nasty deflection. And then he had the other one where that one might have been the power play goal. I can't recall off the top of my head. And then that other one where he was sliding across like old school Marty style with the pad stacked. I mean, he gave it his best opportunity or best chance to like stop that one, but they scored. They shot one up high, so other than that Aho goal, I don't think Jake Allen played that bad. He definitely played really well in the first period and kept the Devils in it again because the Hurricanes came out and they had their little storm surge, there in the first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the most shots the Devils have allowed in the last couple games. Unfortunately,
it's like a tropical depression. It's not even a hurricane. It's like a tropical depression.
I unfortunately did not get to watch. I did not get to watch last night because I had my high school alumni game, and a
squall, really.
Squall, and I felt AJ Visco's pain because I had the same type of defense he had in front of him, and I got shelled with like almost 60 shots last night. So it was quite a bit of work for hockey. But from the way you're describing, I mean, if a guy's free, unless it's a power play, if a guy's free and wide open in front, and is able to just kind of tip it like that guy should be tied up and his stick should be tied up as well. But I didn't get a chance to see it, so I can't really fully comment. But it does seem, I'm seeing in the chat, it does seem the team does play a little bit differently with Jake Allen in net, which, can happen there with a backup because you're not used to it. Like they're used to seeing Markstrom more often. And it just could be there may not be that synergy between the defense and Allen as there is, as there is between Markstrom and the defense. So it's altogether possible. I mean, the Devils always played a little bit different in front of Chris Terreri than Brodeur back in the day. So it's AJ just said he needs to get a few more starts to get back on rhythm. It's true.
Brian did.
Brian did make the Blake one was a power play. That was a tip.
Yeah,
nasty tip and power play.
Brian did make a great point on the YouTube chat that Allen was saving their bacon until that tying goal. When they were up 2-1, they let up like Aho had like two back-to-back great chances on like a 2-on-1 where they were just having like complete defensive meltdowns.
On the power play. That was on the Devils power play.
On the power play.
Aho,
yes.
Aho had two different 2-on-1 opportunities that Jake Allen stopped.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be giving
Listen, the reality is, which is not good. The reality also is that the Hurricanes are a team that give the Devils fits. It's a team that peppers the goalie. And we talked about this Game Day Live before the first game. Is you have to be able to limit their chances. They are going to 30. What I think they're like 30.4 shots a game or something like that, somewhere around that area. So they're going to put it on you. Yeah, and they're gonna sit there and they're gonna take their chances, and they don't care where they're shooting it from. They're gonna shoot it from every angle. You got guys like Brett Burns, and I don't care. You can hate whoever you want. Brett Burns is a guy that I've always admired and loved. A converted forward to a defenseman who I would always wanted to
Friday.
Yeah, dude, I would love, even at this age, even at where he is in his career, to have him on this team. His shot, and even not just his slap shot. He and Short Sky and I were watching a game, and I think they might have been on the power play, and Burns had this shot where he just snaps the puck, and I mean it is like just a rocket.
Yep, it's quick.
And he tried the same shot. Like Short Sky points out, he goes, he's doing the same thing. He's trying the same shot. every time he gets the puck at the point, like right on that spot, he's trying to send it down for a deflection. But how fast that puck is moving is just incredible. I respect the hell out of that dude. But anyways, listen, they have problems with the Canes. That's a team that they're going to have to probably figure out, because guess what? That's probably going to be a team that they're going to be facing in the playoffs if all things kind of go into the direction that they're still going. The team like the Capitals, these bigger, heavier teams that sometimes take away the speed. They have a great line that takes away, that Jack Hughes line, which means you need the Nico Hischier line to step up a little bit more. Palat, we got to start sending him some flowers, because our boy's been the $6 million man has been coming around and coming to life. So it's been nice to see. But at the same time, some other guys on this team got to start picking up the tab. We want to see Eric Hollow starting to get on the score sheet a little bit more. We want to see some of these other guys in the third and fourth line start to need to pick it up a little bit. But they need to figure out these. It's just two of us. Just two of us. I don't know what happened, but it's just the two of us. I think Scotty had to go take a dump or something like that. But
yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, sometimes it happens.
But yeah, we need to figure out how to solve the riddle against these bigger teams. Against you look at the Blues, you look at the. I mean, it's anytime there's a heavier team than us. We get fits because they can shut down our rush. We solve it sometimes, but it's not all the time. I just feel like Sheldon Keefe is picking out the answer. He's just got to get it all the way there.
No, it's not like we haven't beaten them, at all. I mean, looking
True.
at right now, the series is 2-2. We lost to them in October. We beat them in November. We beat them on Friday, and we lost to them yesterday. So it's not like we haven't beaten them before. It's not like we're 0-4 against these guys. We're just not consistently good against some of these bigger teams. So we have a solution. Like in a series, that's really when you got to figure things out quickly. So I think that's really something that they should definitely be looking at is, in a series being able to make those adjustments quickly, and maybe seeing what. We could start looking at analyzing what the Devils do when they lose the first game of a back-to-back and they change it up for the second game. I mean, Carolina obviously made some adjustments and they completely changed their game for yesterday. They solved the Devils' defense. They got those shots on goal. I was looking at the recap. 16 shots on goal in the first period, and Jake Allen let none in. So that's pretty damn good if you ask me. As far as the first period is concerned, so I'll take that. But we were, against the Rangers and the Penguins, who are weaker teams, obviously. But we allowed only 12 shots on goal, so it's Carolina's a tough team to play. I mean, they got at one point during the playoffs like 50 some shots on the Rangers. It's just that's their style of play. That's their style of play.
Yeah, they pepper. One, I'll say there have been a couple positives though lately, and Beer Baron, you hit on one of them. Palat is playing a hell of a lot better. Stefan Nason seems to have come out of his cold streak. And yesterday, the Golden Mitts, who came to us from the Golden Knights, returned with a beautiful interception and touchdown Devils there. Oh, right up the middle. It was tailor-made for Sam Wu who, by the way, anyone doesn't know, Sam Wu is a big celebrity at Wawa's around New Jersey.
Yes, he is.
Whenever he goes in there,
if you see him, say hi.
He got that $1 coupon the other day.
Buy him a salad.
And he was going to go use it. And then he gets recognized in there. He's got to take the selfies and everything else, But Wawa's, Sam Wu's got a picture up there.
I hate Wawa.
Why would you say that? Potential deal that we could have been striking with Wawa. You could have been like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he'll like Wawa if they start paying some bills.
Oh no, if Wawa sponsors, then I'd be like, hey, I used to hate Wawa, but have you tried their $3.99?
Wife never wants to come here.
Now here's a question: if Wawa sponsored you, would you do a VO for their pork roll sandwich, because they don't call it Taylor ham? Now, would you do a VO for the pork roll?
Here's my impression
at Wawa.
Here's my impression of Sam Wu. Just leave me alone and let me enjoy this hot, steamy pork roll, egg, Kaiser roll sandwich.
I'll be honest
Just like
with you.
he would, just like in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Don't get it from the Prudential Center. They serve black eggs or brown eggs.
Hey, Happy, can I get one? Coming right up.
But either way, all joking aside, those three guys it's really good to see them starting to get going. Cotter, just the goal yesterday, but he hasn't slacked elsewhere in his play. It's not like, oh, he's making mistakes on defense. Oh, he's not hitting anybody anymore. It's just he went cold on the goals. But what a beautiful move yesterday. Interception right there at the blue line. I think it was actually Burns who was trying to do that wild spin move and like pass it out of the zone. And he just had that open streak right down the center. Backhand to forehand, put it up high. I mean, that's not your typical third, fourth liner type of move over there. He's got those mitts, and they came back out. Palat seems to now know, we talked about on Devils After Dark, just how to play with Jack and Jesper, but when you put Luke Hughes on the ice as well, those three guys together, and you get Pesce and Palat out there, Palat knows where he needs to be down low, Pesce knows where he needs to be up high, and let those three guys roll, and do their thing. But it's paying dividends for Andre Palat. Maybe not $6 million worth, but at least it's something, and it's a lot better than it used to be. We can all debate the contract, but he's starting to put production on the board. Not only goals, assists as well. And creating space for those three when they are on the ice together, and, Jack and Jesper when they are on the ice together. And Stefan Nason, putting him with Timo Meier, I know I said this on Devils After Dark, but it's like it's having like two bulldogs, two pit bulls out there, on one of those top lines, because they both like to get in there.
Don't take away from.
I'm not discouraging Nico. I'm not. Yeah,
Nico is an absolute dog. He gets into the corners. Do you ever there's sometimes where Nico gets
I'm just saying, Timo and Nason a little bit more physical,
Yes.
But putting them together there, I think, is doing some good things. And Dawson Mercer has been scoring a little bit too. So all that supplemental scoring, which we saw kind of like dry up there, is starting to trickle back in. Which we know there's going to be streaks throughout the season with this sort of stuff. But
ebbs and flows,
it's good to see
them.
Yeah, but it's good to see them rebounding and not going into one of those like season-long drought sort of situations where it's like they just can't seem to figure it out this year. I don't know what's going on. Like it's plagued them all season long. We don't want to hear that. That's not what we're looking for.
And for everyone that panicked when we brought in Cotter, who we had no idea, and we sent Holtz to Vegas. Paul Cotter, 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points in 39 games. Alexander Holtz, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points in 35 games. So we're still winning.
What's that hit total at?
Let's see. Paul Cotter hits. Doesn't say here for his stats.
Well, I already know he's one of the tops in the league. So
I know he's one of the tops, but it doesn't give it right here. It should give hits, but it doesn't.
I got Holtz's hits. It's -5.
Sam, we're talking hits, not you hitting at the blackjack table.
Yeah.
The only reason he's open is because there's a troop of Girl Scouts out there protecting him on the ice. That's what's going on. We know about those Vegas Girl Scouts. They're vicious.
Where's Jake the Snake now?
March 2nd. March 2nd. My God. You Girl Scouts.
Return of Jake the Snake.
Sam Blue versus Girl Scouts 2.
You get a merit badge for trolling Sam Wu.
You know what we need to do? We need to cut a wrestling promo. We need to cut a real wrestling promo right before that game, and like put it before the podcast. Just be like, Scotty can play Mean Gene, and
Beer Baron says Brady can chuck.
Chuck, the more I get stuck with.
And thank you, Max. Paul Cotter, 126 hits. 126 hits for Paul Cotter.
Okay. Nate, I'm going to tell you this, all right? Zegras is not going anywhere because he's hurt forever. But if we did get Zegras, would you be really upset about that? I wouldn't. If we gave up nothing, if we gave up Bastion for Zegras, would you be super upset about that? Because right now his value is so low that you could probably get him for dirt cheap. Unfortunately for him.
Uh-oh.
What?
Sam.
Brooks.
What?
Apparently, Brooks' Girl Scout troop is in cahoots as well with the Vegas. So look out, Sam.
Watch out, Sam.
Watch out. They're coming for you.
I'll take them all. Take them all on.
Take them all. Let me tell you, you bring them over here to the right, you bring them to the left, I'll take them down. Something like that, Sam. You got to work on it.
I'll just go kamikaze. That's it.
Do we really need a Trevor Zegras right now? I don't know.
He's injury prone.
I'm
He's
not
fragile.
saying
He's so fragile.
I'm not saying we need him. I'm not saying we need him. Obviously, Brady Tkachuk is the answer to if we need somebody on the team. So I will say it. I will say it as many damn times as I want. I don't care about your super chat. I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens. You put things into the universe, and then they happen. But yeah, in reality, we talked about this the other day. Like, what moves could they do? What moves should they do? And if they should do anything. And at this point, like, you need to do something with the fourth line. You need to do something with the third line. You hope that Bastion or one of these guys in the bottom six, starts to figure it out, because like their play isn't terrible. It's just we need that, like you said, that secondary scoring. And yes, secondary scoring is coming in, but it also needs to be kicked in those other lines too, because you can't just have these like dead spots.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, Sam. Brooks' daughter, Melina, said she's going to use a thin mint like a throwing star straight to the eyeballs.
Who throws a shoe, really?
Honestly, who throws a shoe?
Honestly, who throws a shoe?
Speaking of the Ducks, I was watching the
Alex
U.S. game
Tuck?
today.
Yeah, I'll take Alex Tuck.
I was watching the U.S.
Alex
game today, and they cut to a live view of the Ducks game. And just as they cut to a live view, it was Jacob Trouba taking a penalty. Shocking.
Oh, good. Good.
And then Edmonton.
You know what? I'm curious to see what happens when he plays the Rangers. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with that.
There was a name that we threw out the other day. It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
But he is a UFA next year. No. Brock Nelson.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the other day.
Big Brock Nelson. How much is he? $6
million cap hit.
Yeah, but if he can get retention on the other side
center
from old Uncle.
Yeah, he's a center, and he's a UFA after this year.
And how old is he?
So,
he's got to be, what, 32?
He's
around 33. That area?
He's 33.
33.
You know what?
Yeah. 2-year deal. I
would be interested.
He's 21 points on the season, 10 goals, 11 assists.
Which is great. Something we need.
Wouldn't be bad on that down on the third line, like that would probably be pretty nice down there.
Jay Snow, I wouldn't. Lou has dealt with the Devils in the past. Look at the Kyle Palmieri deal. Look at the Zajac deal. Look at the Green deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you take Palmieri back?
Uncle Lou does. Lou does not care.
Didn't we swipe? We swiped prospects too, right? Didn't we swap prospects over the summer, or was it last year?
Yeah. It might have been this year.
It was one
of
those.
We gave them a goaltending prospect.
He sent McLean's kid to the Islanders too.
He sent McLean's kid to the no, it was the kid. Who was the kid that has the brother that plays for LA? I think isn't that who it was?
Anderson. It's something like that. Yeah.
No, I can't remember. But either way, it's a $6 million cap hit.
Oh, Graham. Is that what you're talking about? Graham is the last name.
Graham
I
Clark?
can't remember his first name. Graham Clark. There you go. Was it Graham Clark? Did we give them Graham Clark?
Something like that. It was one of those prospects that we had in our system for a while that we had some hopes for that it didn't pan out. I'm sure Max knows. Check the chat.
Probably.
Max probably knows. I'm here looking
Come
at
on,
the
Max. Get on that.
I'm looking at the Brock Nelson page over here. So yeah, it's the last year of his contract. $6 million. I mean, I would 100% probably expect Lou, if the Islanders stay the way they are, I would 100% see Lou trying to move him and or Palmieri, who's also in the last year of his contract.
Oh, I would
Brock,
take a Palmieri back. I would take Palmieri back. Oh,
I'd rather have Brock. He's 6'4",
I would have.
212,
Yeah.
play center.
I would too.
I'd rather have Brock back. If I was going to pick one of the two, I mean, that'd be a nice guy to put down there on that third line.
Yeah.
And who could obviously bump up into the top two as well at certain points.
If needed. Yeah, if needed.
You know, say let's not put this into the universe, but let's just say, you know, Palat, something happened, you know, like that would be a great replacement right there, you know, to be playing with Jack and Jesper. But either way, I got to look up Tuck's numbers as well. But I mean, because the Sabres aren't going to be in it.
No.
I'm on Puckapedia. Sorry, it's a little slow.
Yeah, that's why I
gotta
just
get over to
going.
Buffalo.
It's not like Cap Friendly was.
Oh, Cap Friendly was the best.
I missed that site.
Lightning speed with Cap Friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Tuck plays right wing. You know, he's still got another year on his contract. So again, 28 points, 12 goals, 16 assists, 6'4", 216. So yeah, he's a big boy as well. So he's got one more year left. Yeah, that would be. I mean, honestly, you know, that would be a good one as well. But you're probably going to have to maybe give up. I don't know if Buffalo is going to let him go with another year on that contract. They might, though. They might. You'd have to give up a little bit more. Brock Nelson, I think you get away with just like giving some draft picks to Lou. He'll probably be fine with that.
The only problem is we don't have the room to do it. So Brock Nelson, you'd have to get retention, or you'd have to get a team like, you know, when Arizona was still around, they would kick this tire around. You'd be like, Arizona, take like $5 million of this contract and a pick, and then we'll take him for like $1 million. But that, you know, I don't know if that's really a thing anymore. So there's
Columbus
there's
could.
possibilities.
Columbus has a ton of cap space if they want to do some of that kind of banking like Arizona used to do. And there are teams with open space.
Maybe.
Anaheim's another one of those teams. They've got some space. You know,
but if you're thinking more around the trade deadline, he won't owe as much money yet. By that time.
Let's get Kako. That would be funny. Brian, that would be funny. That would actually really be funny. And you put him on our third line. You put him on our third line and watch him just like flourish, and we just sit back going, oh my God, he scored again! He scored again!
According to Billy Dean, we're not a rival of the Rangers, so the Ranger fans won't care because we're not rivals. According to Billy Dean.
Sure.
He told me on Hot Pod last week, we're not a rival of theirs.
He said
we're not rivals now.
We're not rivals. Nope,
we're
not a rival of the
things
Rangers.
in the past, but that might be the dumbest
We're just
thing
a little
I've ever
brother.
heard.
We're not a rival. Even though their fan base was voted the dumbest.
All right,
there you go.
Here's another.
That answered that question.
I don't know if Blake Coleman is. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know what his contract is, but I don't think he's a UFA. Yeah, Jay Snow, you're right. The Devils will have some money around the deadline.
Yeah,
because they're at what, like one point something now. They have space. I gotta get back to the Devils page.
800 something. Like 873.
I could have swore it said like 1 million. Where's my Puckapedia? Current cap space 1.4.
1.4. Okay.
Projected cap space 822.
Okay, that's the number I was looking at.
Yeah, but the current right now is 1.4. Is someone hurt? Is someone on? Who are we missing right now?
I don't think
Nobody.
anyone's hurt.
No, because everybody's back. Lazar's back.
Yeah.
Beer
So
Bear,
Well, that's what it says.
I know
It says
you would
current
take
space,
this deadline.
1.4.
I know you
What's
would take
that?
this deadline. Chris Kreider.
I 100% would. 100%. One and any
Since we're not
listen,
rivals, we can trade.
Any Devils fan that's like, oh, I wouldn't take Kreider. You're a moron. You have to have your head checked. Kreider on this team would make so much sense. I would never want to do it. The only way I would want to do it was if it like the Devils did a three-team trade where whatever player we're giving up goes to that other team, and then they send whatever to the Rangers, and the Rangers send.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to give anything to the Rangers.
FCs.
No,
FCs.
But I wouldn't mind Kreider if he was on a different team that we were making a trade with. Yeah, but then you also have. We all remember the Michael Grabner experience. Yeah. That did not.
Maybe
go
he'll
over
get
so
traded
well.
next couple of days, and we can trade from that team.
We can steal him that way.
Yeah.
But we should wrap up here.
Yes, we should.
We've been going. We're a little long here. But yeah, we should get into some final thoughts on everything. We know we've been having some fun here talking about the officiating, but did get onto the positive side of some of these improvements that the team has been making. They have their West Coast trip. If anyone's going to the LA game, I'll see you there. Unfortunately, I can't get to the Anaheim one, but I'll definitely be out on New Year's Day in LA at the old Crypto. But let's see how the Devils, go here on this trip. They've been road warriors so far this year, but Anaheim up first. Could be one of those trap games. They are definitely a lot better than the Ducks. The Kings are up and coming. We know the Sharks are terrible. Okay. Seattle is, half-half. Kings are probably the best team on this road trip over here, though. Don't
but Seattle,
play down
can't
to the Ducks.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, you're just kind of waiting for them to kind of take off a little bit more. But don't sleep on the Sharks and the Ducks. We've seen the Devils do that before, but we've also seen them in recent times.
Yeah, we lost 1-0 to the Sharks. So
and they no longer have that goaltender.
We can look for revenge there, but we've also seen the Devils in recent times just look past that and dominate, like they did with a certain team that isn't our rival anymore all of a sudden. They did not play down to them, so let's hope they continue with that trend, and let's have a successful West Coast trip out here and start in the new year.
Yeah.
You're right.
Speaking of starting, we should start our final thoughts.
That was my final thought. We've already begun that.
Okay. But again, just like in the beginning of the show, that's exactly what happens in the classroom. You'll explain something, and then someone will ask that type of dumb question or make that type of dumb comment. So
there are no dumb questions, only dumb people.
Exactly. My final thought is this: we've got our West Coast swing coming up this week, and I like the times of the West Coast games this week. It's going to be nice and easy to watch them out here on the East Coast because they're earlier. With the exception of that Seattle game, we'll be able to watch them. And that's about it. And Happy New Year's to everyone, which we'll see you next week into the new year. It's our last show of the year, last show of the calendar year at least. So Happy New Year to everybody. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy everything.
Yeah. Happy everything. Yeah. Happy New Year. Last show of the new year. I'm going to wrap it up with something that Shorts Guy likes to say, colors and shapes. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you something that I worked on and I finished a long time ago, but I'm going to put it out there because I'm going to start putting this. I can't even see it with the camera. So this is something that I worked on. Yeah. Things like this will be on out there for the public to see and to maybe buy in the future and all that kind of fun stuff. But
you didn't
listen. Now you do the solo camera. Now let me take it back. Hold on.
You weren't. Hey, you didn't use any of those. You didn't use any of those painting tactics like you didn't use any of the painting tactics and skills like on Scotty's Mr. Met, did you?
I did for half of it, but then I got real sore, so I I had to stop. No, and only us know what that. Remember about inside jokes? What Scotty said before.
Inside jokes, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, to keep it short, yeah. Happy New Year's to the boys. Listen, we wrapped up the first half of this year really nicely. Let's wrap up the second half even better. Let's not forget what Sam once said about 2025, and let's hope that comes true. And always a pleasure and an honor. Happy New Year to you boys.
I have nothing to say, really. The burrito works. 2025 is upon us.
The burrito is real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Devils, this West Coast swing, it's a very long road trip. They go to Carolina, West Coast swing, and then they play the New York Rangers when they come back. So it's going to be a fun ride in the next 12, 14 days. But I think the Devils are going to really do some soul searching on this trip. It's a different type of soul searching. It's going to be. It's not like in years past. Oh, can we get it together? It's more of they're going to really find out how good they are, and it's going to be a pleasure to watch. Anyway, dropping the podcast at midnight. We'll report tomorrow. And also we got Game Day Live and Devils After Dark on Tuesday as well. So thank you to everybody. Till next time, let's go Devils.
Pretty Chuck.